ABC, it is Old Metal Rocker 65. I got an update here, new stuff, and the last part of the new stuff I purchased earlier in the year that you have not seen. So anyway, I'm wearing this here in honor of my sister. She has pancreatic cancer. She's doing pretty good so far. Still doing chemo, and so she's in good spirits. So hopefully this chemo and shit will get rid of her in her system. Hopefully, I pray. Anyway, so I got a nice update for you here. I've been following this band out of Canada for quite some time now. I had their, I believe it was their first CD on CD. And then I just recently got their newest release, and it was a bundle pack. I actually got two of the albums, but in a bundle pack, the band is called Corrosive out of Canada. Just killer thrash. I mean, old school thrash. Maybe slight deathy vocals, but just old school thrash. And it's just great. So I got this with the bundle pack. Of course, you get the sticker, and of course the CD, which is playing right now. So the new CD is called Catastrophic Creation. Gotta love the cover. Anyway, that's the CD. I have the vinyl right here. Killer, killer, killer. Man, that's why you need the vinyl, man. You got the album art that just blows up in your face here. I mean, how can you not like this? Killer stuff. It's on CDN Records out of Canada. Hopefully I'll have the second Corrosive today. I'm hopeful, but we'll see. So anyway, Corrosive out of Canada. The latest from Crystal Viper. These here are going to be some older ones that I've gotten, and then it'll, I believe, go down to the other ones. Yeah, the newer stuff I've got. Anyway, so the brand new Crystal Viper. What is it? The Silver Key. It's Crystal Viper. I mean, Marta Gabriel. I mean, this is her band. And she doesn't stray too far, just like Doro doesn't stray too far from her sound. Just, it's a good release, killer release. I've got all of her stuff, so in this band stuff, so great stuff. Then I picked up this from No Life Till Metal. I picked up the Sacred Reich Heal album. Slowly been picking up more Sacred Reich, but I don't have a lot currently, but it's on orange, so killer thrash here. And as probably as most of you who know me know, I love thrash. I like progressive metal. I love new wave of traditional heavy metal, new wave of British heavy metal. That's kind of in my ballpark there, hard rock. But anyway, of course then, the live album, the final Sermon live in Japan 28. This is the last live record with Mike Hall. Metal Church, killer record out of Rat Pack Records. They always do a great job in promoting and distributing their stuff. Top quality, great stuff. This from Rocks. I do have the others. Figured I'd pick this up. This is a monster album. Motivic. You can see my selection so far. Most of it's been a lot of thrash. This is killer. Renouncement. I mean, orange vinyl on Rocks Records. Killer stuff. But anyway, a little bit about the weather. I know we're kind of getting off track here, but anyway, I tell you, September, where I live up in west central Minnesota, North Dakota, Minnesota border. I'm like 15 miles north of the South Dakota border. Anyway, our September has been the warmest on record. This past 4 or 5 days we've been in the high 80s with one day in the 90s, which is really kind of unheard of around here in this time of year. And the leaves are just starting to change color around here. I think that they're kind of late, but then again, maybe not. But anyway, we're due for a cool down after today, so I'm looking forward to that. So, very warm spring, and I'll take it. Or spring, fall. End of the video, I'll tell you, got a new segment coming up, and I'll get into it towards the end. So anyway, been following this band for a long time. I interviewed them on my Metal Uprising show when I was doing my shows. I did Metal Uprising for like 10 years, and about a year ago I decided I'm not going to do it anymore. So anyway, I interviewed this band, and this is their latest, Infinite Evolution from Blood Feast. Killer thrash. Yeah, thrash. You know my theme. I mean, how can you not like Blood Feast and the covers? Killer. I mean, wow. So yeah, more thrash. Does the theme go on? Yes, it does, with Surgical Strike, band out of Mexico. And this is their, I believe this is their debut album. No, it's not. It's this album is, it's hard to see it, but it's called 24/7 Hate. Some thrash out of Mexico. Killer stuff. And then we're getting into one of my really up and coming favorite bands. Well, these guys have been around about 10 years now, so they're not really up and coming, but you know, they consistently put out killer traditional heavy metal with maybe a touch of a little speed metal maybe in there, but this is their latest, and it is an absolute monster of an album. Going to be high up on my 2024 list, and I'm talking about Cryptos and the album Decimator. Killer stuff, man. I love these guys. Now, to a lot of people, the vocals might be hard to get used to. It's kind of like Chris Bottendahl with Gravedigger, and maybe some Lemmy vocals in there. This is kind of in that ballpark, you know, where it might be appealing to some, but to others they won't buy it because of the vocals. But hey, this is great stuff. Pick it up. And I, of course, you know, this band, been following them for the beginning, and I picked up their latest, and it is Anvil 101. Definitely better than their last one, but Anvil is Anvil. They don't stray too far from their sound as well, you know, but, you know, support the band while you can, because sooner or later these guys are not going to be around. So pick up what you can, because some of these might not ever be reissued again. But anyway, Anvil 101. Now these are some newer stuff I've been getting, and as many of you know or don't know, I'm a huge fan. This is my favorite guitarist of all time, and I buy all of his stuff. And I just picked this up. This is the first time on vinyl. I do have the 3 CDs in my collection from this particular era and this album. I'm talking about Tommy Bolin and Friends and Great Gypsy Soul, finally on vinyl. And it's put out by Purple Pyramid. If you're not familiar with Purple Pyramid, it basically cater to the older sound, 70s, maybe some 80s, and stuff that has not been put out ever, and these guys do a good job with it, and this is another one of their fantastic jobs. They do a lot of Tommy Bolin, distribution and recording. But yeah, great stuff. I mean, let me see if on here. Well, it's got, you know, the classic is Teaser, of course, from the solo. People, People, Homeward Strut, Praise Fandango, Lotus. And of course, side D is all marching bag movement 1 through 4. Interesting to hear that. On the 4th track, on the 4th side, features Nels Cline, Warren Haynes, Joe Bonamassa, Ozzie Noy, Brad Whitford, Peter Frampton. So you kind of get an idea. It's bluesy, hard rock, but this guy is so versatile, or was so versatile in his guitar playing. It's just a shame that heroin took his life. You know, that shit there would just kill anybody. But anyway, some newer stuff from Tommy Bolin. And while I don't have the first one, I will probably be getting it. I picked up the second one based on, let's see, what song was it? I can't remember what song it was. But anyway, I'm talking about hard rock blues guitarist Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Love this guy. And his Dirt on My Diamonds, Volume 2. I've heard the one. I've heard some of this, but I have not heard it entirely. I just got this here, I think, Saturday. But I've been kind of busy doing stuff, but yeah. In fact, he does a lot of his own vocals on this album, where in the past he never really did vocals a lot because he wasn't happy with how he sounded, but he sounds fine. So anyway, a lot of these are going to be, let's see, let me get into a newer pickup. I picked up, based on Scott Waters' recommendation of the best one to get. I have 2 now, but I have one on CD, one on vinyl, and I got Hades, and this one is Save Yourself. And put out by Limited Run Vinyl. Now, I've listened to this. I probably got to listen to it a little bit more to really take it in. It hasn't really clicked yet, but hopefully it will. I like the other one I got better. I think it was The Downside. That was on CD. I think that one's a little bit more heavier, but anyway, just glad to have it. Didn't have any on vinyl. And then I picked up some more Southern rock. I've really been in a Southern rock kick, a 70s kick. Probably the last month I got a lot of 70s stuff I've been buying and picking up. And a lot of this is due to a Facebook group, fans of Southern rock. And a lot of this I'm buying is because of that group. And some of these I've never heard in the Southern rock vein. And so they post links to YouTube and I go check them out, and if I like it, I've been buying it. And I'm getting decent prices over Discogs. I'm buying these. Anyway, I picked up this George Hatcher Band, Talkin' Turkey. And just, you know, if you like Leonard Skinner, Marshall Tucker, Blue Steel, Stillwater, you're going to love this stuff. I mean, it's great Southern hard rock. So I picked up another George Hatcher Band. And this one I picked up, and this is really good. I've been really kind of promoting this over on my Facebook site. Only album they ever put out, and it is killer Southern rock. Let me see, this George Hatcher, I should have said this one came out in 77, so there's a lot of Southern rock bands. I just found another one last night, a band called Oklahoma. Sounds great. Anyway, this band here, Navasota, and the album Rootin', and the Wild Boar Tusk, I mean, killer cover. How can you not like it? This is from 1972, of course. This and about 8 other albums, used albums, were cleaned by this I'll show you it, but I bought a new record cleaner, so I have two now, and I use them both in sequences. But anyway, this is good stuff, good Southern rock, killer stuff. This, I've been wanting this for the longest time. I passed on an original 3-4 years back, and now it's become virtually hard to find, but there have been new reissues of this band's material with demo material, and this was a band that came out around 1970, early 70s, kind of in the vein of Black Sabbath, early Black Sabbath, and a few other bands doing this style. This band, they call it heavy rock, but it's kind of a mix of kind of a Sabbathy style sound and hard rock. But I'm just glad I got this. And this has, let's see, I'll read this to you. Early 70s underground hard rock recordings from the Scottish group, so they're from Scotland, who were stomping around the UK with the likes of Black Sabbath, Hacky Sack, Pink Fairies, Juicy Lucy, and others from the time. I have a bunch of those in my collection already. And but never released a proper album in the beginning. Iron Claw probably became the world's first Black Sabbath tribute band, as they incorporated the entire first Black Sabbath LP and single into their set. So obviously they got their sounds from Black Sabbath. This collection is of 16 original studio tracks, documents their existence from 1970 through 74, and features extensive liner notes, lyrics, photos, including a poster and insert. For fans of Tear Gas, Leafhound, Jerusalem, Ancient Grease, Toad, Incredible Hog, Elias Hulk, which I also have in my collection, you get Iron Claw. I mean, iconic cover from the original. And here's the back. The inside. Now I prefer sides 3 and 4 over 1 and 2. Now both of these sides are different. Side 1 and 2, first album, they definitely have that Sabbathy sound, whereas 3 and 4 are a little bit more heavier in the hard rock vein, and just a killer album. Put out by Rockadrome. So, and of course that's where I got it. Definitely, if you guys have never heard Iron Claw, definitely do yourself a favor, and if you can find it, pick up this Iron Claw. You will not be disappointed. This one here, a surprise as well, but it's kind of, when I first was going to go buy this and saw it on again, fans of Southern rock, I checked the YouTube video. I liked what I heard. It had a little bit of Southern influence into it. So I went and bought this album. I got another one coming, should be here today. This band is called Mama Lion and Preserve Wildlife. Now to me this isn't really a Southern rock heavy, not a heavy album, but it's really not a Southern rock album. It does have some influences in it. I would probably categorize it as more of maybe a bluesier hard rock, maybe in the vein of the singer from Zephyr, Janis Joplin, and a few others from that era. But it's a really good album. Very happy I picked this up. Excellent shape. And last, I picked this up a while back because I didn't have, the originals are hard to find. I virtually never see them in the wild, around here especially. And I'm sure it's like that probably everywhere. Maybe bigger cities, not so much, but still hard to find. Anyway, I picked up, and I wanted this, I picked up the Black Sabbath Anno Domino 89 to 95 album box set from Black Sabbath. So you get, of course, get the booklet, the history of the albums, you know, I mean, great package. And then of course you get a book of pictures, liner notes, everything. Then I'm not going to unfold this. Well, you get the poster, and of course you get the vinyl. Of course, like I say, I never see these, and they're high originals or really high priced. Of course, this is Black Sabbath with the Tony Martin era, Headless Cross. Tear, which I virtually never see in the wild. Cross Purposes is another one. In fact, I did buy just a single version of this re-release, Cross Purposes, so I have two of these now. One's not an original, or they're not originals, but this set is original to the box. So anyway, and then Forbidden. To me, these four are the hardest albums to find, I think, in the Sabbath catalog. Especially out in the wild, they're just virtually non-existent. People know what they have in Black Sabbath and do not want to part with it, so therefore, you never see it in the wild. So here's the box set, and the back. Glad to have it. So anyway, guys, I'll see you next time on Mail Call, and this is Old Metal Rocker 65, and I'll see you next time, and keep it metal.